Today I'm working with some raspberry colored yarn, kind of a light plum color, I guess. And very often when you're doing something feminine, you just want the occasional dot, the occasional eyelet to make an all-over lace. So here is a diagram of an all-over lace. And in this case, I would pick out one stitch and then leave 3 alone and pick out one stitch. So I will do that, starting with the second stitch on the right. And then I will do my bit with my garter bar to just move these stitches out a little bit so that the ones in the back open their latches. There we go. That looks pretty good. Then I can use the garter bar again and bring out the ones in the front, or actually bring them back so they're all in a row, and put the garter bar on them. I see a closed latch. Let me just get that. Slide this on, bring it out, install the stopper, pop my stitches on, now I hope it shows on camera that this time I only got every 4th stitch, which is all I wanted to transfer, and let me transfer those quickly. And they're all transferred, and I managed to drop a stitch, so that was what not to do. I pulled that garter bar off before I was sure everything was popped on. Okay, so now I can knit according to my pattern, which isn't much of a pattern, it's just colored in brass paper. At this point I'm going to knit 4 rows because the eyelet will be on the 4th row coming up, so it's just something that you do, knit 4 rows, do it again, knit 4 rows. And when I pick out my needles the next time, I'm going to be over on the 4th stitch from the right. And that'll give me that little staggered dot that I'm trying to get. So 4 rows. Pick out my stitches, starting with the one that's 3 from the 3 not selected at the end there. Now, one of the things that you can do with a machine like this that has either an electronic or a punch card capability is that you can have the machine help you with selecting needles, doing the counting. True, it doesn't have a lace carriage, but it has a needle selecting capability. Let me just move these guys back so they all match. Visually inspect, see if my latches are open. Get the garter bar on. Do my popping. Popping all these stitches right onto the garter bar. Slide it in a little bit to get these to open and move to the left. You noticed I didn't put the stopper on. Then when I went to slide in, things moved on me. But I like it better when they don't move, so I usually do use the stopper. Okay, so that's the next row of transfers. And again, if I had used the stopper, it would be easier to push these in. So I am a big stopper advocate. And then knit 4 more rows. I'm going to do 2 more off camera and then take it off so that you can see the finished knitting. I'm back. I knitted a few more rows so I could take the swatch off the machine. Here's how that trellis stitch looked down at the bottom of the sample where I was moving every other needle. And then here's how that other eyelet pattern looked farther up. Now this technique is very important. There are so many things that you can do with your garter bar if you can only move selected needles. For instance, I use this technique for cabling. I use it for multiple transfer lace where I scoot over a whole group of stitches. So I really hope that you'll practice it right away so that you don't forget, because it takes just a few times to get the hang of how far to move the needles and what exactly happens when you move your garter bar on out with the stitches and then you put the stopper on and pop the stitches on the garter bar. So just a little bit of practice is a great idea on this one. And that's how to use your garter bar to make eyelets quickly.